Hi Virgo, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to those of you who are new here. My name is Jackie and I do weekly readings for tarot, and I incorporate astrology, numerology, psychology, whatever I'm feeling in the moment. So let's get right into these energies, Virgo. Let's see what comes out. Remember guys, take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit. If it's not your message this time, maybe we'll get to it next time. Okay, let's pull some oracles. I'm going to timestamp below like I always do. So we're going to do some oracles, work in the astrology, then I'll do a Celtic cross spread for general messages, and then I'll do just a 7-card ellipse for relationships. A little tighter on the time this week than I was last week. I always give you guys whatever I can as far as time goes. Please understand that. To do the hour videos, that would be, 12 hours plus a week for each of the videos for me to do the lengthy where I include everything. I do the best I can. All right, so we have letting go, help from above, and dreams. So, look, this is a lot about you, right? You guys are one of the stars right now, actually, of the month, right? Because Venus in Virgo is going to be hanging there for a month. And this is just the absolute perfect energy. This is 9 of Coins energy. It's a fabulous energy for working on self. So let's see what comes up for us. In the oracles, I'm peppering in a little bit of tarot in there for just some more specific messages. So the Venus in Virgo energy, this is hitting July 21st until August 16th, and this is a time where we're going to all be expressing our love for others and ourselves through very practical means and gestures in the day-to-day, right? Love needs to make sense and have purpose. How we show ourselves self-love and self-respect needs to make sense and be for our higher good, and how we make and spend money needs to make sense right now with Venus in your energy, right? So you have this in your first house of self. So that first house is self. It's your appearance, it's beginnings. It's like you feeling almost like you're feeling this new start, this new beginning in your life in some way. Your attitude is taking a different angle right now. Your identity is changing, your approach to life, but there's a lightness to it. Venus in Virgo, there's a lightness. Particularly, you're very comfortable, obviously, in the Virgo energy. The shadow manifestation of this could be you being very, very picky within all of your relationships, right? You just want to make sure that you're careful of not doing that, obviously, right? That is the shadow manifestation of that. And being too critical, too fussy, too picky, too, all of those things. We all have shadow manifestations, right, when it comes to our energies. But generally speaking, this is an energy where you're going to be focusing so much on taking care of yourself. That's because you guys are the sign of health, mental, physical, emotional. You're also the problem-solving energy. And when we combine that with Venus, this is about looking at your money, looking at your resources, looking at your self-esteem, your self-concept, all of this. But it's going to be sitting opposite your 7th house of relationships, marriage contracts, business contracts, equality, sharing, how you show up in relationship. And there's a lot of Neptunian confusing energy there because Neptune's in your 7th, so is Jupiter retrograde, both in Pisces. So you're really looking at your relationships saying, like, where have I been maybe martyring myself? Where have I been ending up on getting the lousy end of the stick in a situation? And looking at fairness versus not fair, unfairness, I guess, non-fairness, listen to me, in that particular area. So I feel like that's how Venus in Virgo is going to be manifesting in your world. But I feel like a lot of you are going to be gravitating and finding benefit in some sort of like holistic healing. A lot of you in acupuncture, yoga. I know that's not for everybody. Some sort of new nutritional program, something like that. You're going to be very focused on taking care of yourself, taking care of you. And with Venus in Virgo in that first house, that is going to be some cute energy for you, Virgo. Yes, you might. It's a good energy, honestly. If you wanted to try to rock that new hairstyle, change up your wardrobe, do anything like that, thumbs up energy for that. Just, make sure you know who you're going to or who you're dealing with, just because we do have that Neptune energy in the 7th, and we do have the full moon in Aquarius with Saturn in your house of home, right? Well, in the 6th house for you, right? So let's just talk about the full moon in Aquarius as well. Just real quick, let me throw that in there. It's hitting on the 23rd. And the thing is, so this full moon in Aquarius is working, right? It's hanging in that 6th house, right? And the sun in Mars, it's entering, I'm sorry, the Mars is hanging with the sun conjunct Leo, but we have the sun entering Leo in your 12th house of the hidden, of the subconscious, of behind the scenes, right? With that Mars energy opposite your house of health, okay? So, and that's at Leo. So the Leo energy, that Leo sun is very proud and very individual. And when it's in your 12th house, this is going to have to do with your thoughts, what you're feeling underneath things, right? It's going to be feeling this very individual energy. You're not going to feel very content to simply be just one of the team in any area of your life, because the Aquarius moon, it is individualistic, it is very independent, but it thinks about other people, right? Community, a group spirit. You're going to be really thinking about people that you work with, other people in your day-to-day. You're going to be feeling very deeply connected to your pets at this time. And it really is a beautiful energy, right? But this tension between where it is that you want to be independent and where it is that you feel the pressure to actually show up with others, there's going to be this illuminated conflict here. And it's not going to be as bad for you as it is bad. Nothing's bad, but it's challenging. Not only for you, but the rest of the mutable signs, right? Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces is not going to be as difficult for you guys, okay? But there's going to be this energy of conflict between like what you want to do on your own and bringing in other people. But I do want to also say something real quick to the fathers out there who are Virgos. I know that my channel does predominantly have females, though I have a growing amount of men watching. I just want to let you guys know that energetically, if you guys are fathers, this is such an amazing energy to be a father in for male Virgos. Beautiful. Any sort of issues that have been going on with a wife, an ex-wife, some sort of like the mother of your child, anything having to do with home, any sort of issues at all, really, there's going to be this release, right, in that the South Node energy that's happening in your 4th house. And in that 10th house, you're going to be getting a gift, right? That North Node in Gemini in the 10th. And we say, oh, isn't the 10th career? Yes, it is. But it's also father. It's also masculinity and father. So, and how you show up as a father as well. And so there's some sort of beautiful gift coming in. So I noticed that when I was looking at your energies, and I was like, oh, this is really nice for any men who are, any Virgos out there who are dads. Okay, so we have this energy of letting go, and that's being clarified by the Emperor, an Aries energy. We do have Chiron retrograde in Aries in your 8th house, which is going to be a lot of healing when it comes to how you show up as a we in relationship. And then we have the 7 of water, and we have Yang. All right, so let's talk about that. So we're going to have this letting go. The Emperor energy is an Aries energy. It's very leadership. It's very fire, ruled by Mars. It's where a warrior spirit hangs out, right? But I feel like a lot of you are actually in this space where you're letting go. You're doing there's a lot of letting go. Because then we have the 7 of water here, which is about choices and confusion and commitment issues and just not sure what's real, what's what, things being up in the air. But you could feel the beginning stages of something new. So a lot of you are letting go of something, and you're feeling very brave about, Zebra energy is very brave. Even if you're scared, you're doing it brave. Nobody's seeing you sweat in this energy, right? Even though you're kind of confused about what's on the other side of something. Right, but then we have Yang. So Yang is all about being daring. Think about the wands, right? Just think about the wand energy. Feeling motivated, passion, inspired. So I feel like a lot of you are doing this sort of page-turning energy where you're letting go of what hasn't been working, and you're feeling very, very motivated to actually move in this new direction. And I could see this happening, right? I mean, you have Uranus and Taurus in your 9th house, and that really does have to do with your belief system. It's like your belief system is changing. A lot of you, it's the house of truth. And that North Node energy in Gemini, also, even for those non-Virgo fathers out there, there's some sort of gift coming in having to do with your career, your long-term goals, your structure, your status, your reputation, your public image. So some sort of gift coming in. So it's going to end up being very healing for you, I feel like, because Chiron's retrograde in Aries in that 8th house of endings and beginnings. So it's nice. That's where you merge with other. That has to do with intimacy, shared finances, inheritance, taxes, loans, assets, property, joint ventures, anything like that. So I feel like there's a lot of, there's going to be a lot of healing there because new things are coming in. Even if you're not sure what it's, you don't have to be sure of the particulars right now. It's just enough to sort of open up and allow right now. Opening up and allowing is really going to work in your favor. I just feel like that, right? Because that Chiron retrograde is sextiling your house, right? Your 6th house where Saturn is sitting in that full moon. So you get definitely getting help from above here. There's no question. No question. Maybe somebody who passed over who loves you. We have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So you might be very concerned about money right now. Or even if money's okay, you might be in this poverty mindset where you're feeling very vulnerable. Some of you can be feeling very vulnerable about your finances, about something to do with your home. Some of you may literally be struggling with bankruptcy, or maybe you're getting over something like that where that's a real issue for you. And it's that very thing that you're getting help from above with, which is really quite beautiful. Nice. We get the 6 of Earth. Love it. This is great, because this is about property, family, yes, inheritance, generosity, support. But if you've been struggling financially, which if you're resonating with the 4 of Pentacles as being in that space of lack, this is your finances getting better, money coming to you. Maybe for some of you, someone from your past offering you support right now, or you offering it to them. If it has nothing to do with money and the Pentacles is showing up in your life more as connection, mental, physical, emotional connection, you being in this space of lack, feeling very unsupported, feeling very kind of misunderstood even, dare I say, but you all of a sudden hearing from somebody maybe from the past, or somebody, maybe a friend or a family member, somebody coming in and really helping you out and really talking things through and working on where in your life you can be more flexible, which is really great. I mean, this is a great energy for Virgo. I mean, it's not the easiest thing, right? For Virgo, it's not the easiest energy. But honestly, I don't think we talk about the fixed signs having a hard time being flexible. I think the mutables do too, as you know, as well. But anyway, I like it because it shows me a lot of flexibility in your thinking and in your decision making, which is really, really nice. Especially because you have Scorpio transiting your 3rd house right now. So there's a lot of changes going on in the way that you're actually communicating with people, communicating with your family, communicating with people online, people you do business with. So I like this, right? Because there is some sort of transformation and you're becoming very flexible. Like people are noticing how flexible you're being. And it's serving you, which is really nice. And then the last oracle heading up this row here is we have the dreams. And that's being clarified by beautiful 3 of Pentacles. Very nice. Mars and Capricorn energy. This is about collaborating with somebody or a group of people. This has to do with success. I always call this the architect card, right? Because it's like envisioning in your mind what it is that you want, right? And sort of drawing blueprints and then giving it to the contractor and saying, create this for me, right? But you have to be the one who's creating those blueprints, right? So it's like you coming up with this idea, this vision, and you being able to be successful at it. This has to do with rewarding work, allowing your talents to shine, some sort of successful launch, some sort of home sale or home purchase, home improvement, anything like that that's going to end up pushing you forward, though, but with another person. So really nice there. And then we have the 9 of Fire. So you're in a strong position right now, right? This tells me that you've been going through a lot. You're like fighting this long, hard fight in some area of your life, and you are tired. You're tired, but you're going to have the energy to persevere and to see something through. This is temporary. This will pass. You might be feeling defensive right now. That's okay. Just make sure you don't stay there. You don't want to stay in a negative mindset. Your efforts are going to be met with success. Whatever it is that you're putting out there is going to be met with success. But as long as you maintain balance and a careful approach and you maintain that flexibility. So even if you're very tempted to say, oh, just let me do it, or you don't know what you're doing, or what are you talking about, or, that kind of thing. Just make sure you temper your words. Just try to temper your words, that's all. When Mercury is in Cancer right now, that energy of feeling very sensitive about communication and within communication. So really try to hang in the illuminated energy of Cancer, which is very cozy and loving when it comes to how you communicate with anyone in work, your friends, your partner, anyone like that. Just be very safe for people to speak to. I hope that makes sense to you. And then we have a change in the wind. So something's changing for you, okay? Look, it just is. You have Pluto and Capricorn in your 5th house of creativity, entrepreneurial efforts. There could be changes in your relationship status right now for sure. And this is sextiling Neptune and Jupiter retrograde, very dreamy energy when it comes to 7th house of relationships. So there could be some offer coming in that's like, wow, I've been waiting for this. Just make sure that you read the dotted line, read the bottom line rather before signing on the dotted line. If it's any sort of new opportunity, and if it's got to do with a relationship, just make sure they walk their talk. I always say that whenever Neptune is in any relationship house, I always say, just make sure they walk in their talk, But this is very nice. So let's move on and pull a Celtic cross spread. And we'll just apply that to just the general energies, anything having to do with career, money, relationship, anything like that. Okay, let's see what we have with our friends. All right, ooh, 9 of Cups, focusing on happiness, filling your heart. Okay, so your current challenge is the 8 of Cups, which is very much about walking away and departure and change and having the emotional intelligence to recognize that something doesn't feel right anymore, whether it's a job, a way of being, a relationship, a family connection. It's time to move on. When I always say with this energy, this is the energy of sadness but no regret. You're likely to have left a situation emotionally already, but it's time to really do some solid work on yourself because you really want to be happy. 9 of Cups is showing up as you. This is about manifesting what it is that you wish. Feeling more connected to your heart. It's an energy of growth as well, because this is Jupiter and Pisces energy. So really getting in touch with what it is that you want. See the basis of the situation going on. We have the King of Swords. Okay. 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay, something didn't work out. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the 10 of Cups in reverse in the past, because this energy is about family trouble. This could be feeling kind of lonely in your house even. This could indicate a broken marriage, a broken soul connection. This could indicate a broken partnership having to do with work. And it doesn't even have to be like with career. What's interesting with the 10 of Cups, it doesn't necessarily mean like getting fired or this and that, but it's like a lack of contentment, not feeling secure, not feeling like there's good communication, and not feeling like you're going to be able to manifest exactly what it is that you want for your future in that energy. So you might even be, you may still be working and things are like okay, but you're definitely feeling like this is not the answer for me. You're not the answer. But the challenge with the 8 of Cups is you leaving, like this is the current challenge for you. So some of you may be in this space where you're feeling like you can't. Even though you've learned your lesson, you learned from the past, right? That is the 8 of Cups in reverse. But some of you may be in the space of not being able to actually move into that next I don't know if it could be a relationship, a job, whatever it is, whatever next would be for you. The basis of the situation here, we have the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is all about focusing on the mind rather than the heart, to take charge of your circumstances, right? This is sensing you're very sort of ambitious and driven right now to make something work. So if it's resonating as a career, money, ambitious, very focused if it has to do with relationship on making something work, but it has to make sense to you. And that's exactly what you're going to be feeling right now, guys, honestly. Everything, love needs to make sense and have a purpose. How you show yourself self-love and self-respect. Everything has to make sense. And right now, Page of Swords. Page of Swords is some sort of useful information coming in. You're getting help from somebody around you or a group of people around you to help you further your ambition. So this can manifest as a contract coming your way, or just a job offer, some sort of contract, some sort of agreement. But it's sort of like this, some information coming in from someplace. But you relying very much on your intelligence. So we have two kind of like two air energies here. So what I like about this, what I'm getting, I'm feeling like you're on the one hand very flexible in your thinking, in your approach, but you're being very, I'm going to say healthy critical. I'm not going to talk about, you guys, and I always say this about Virgos, you guys get a bad rap when it comes to this. There's nothing wrong with being critical. Overly critical, okay, no one wants that, right? But I feel like you're going to be very balanced in this energy. I really do. But what do you really, like, what is the suggested approach? Like, there's something that you really need to look at here. And it's the Judgment reverse, which is telling me you have to really look at where you feel stuck in the past, or you're having a hard time figuring something out or learning the lesson that's right there for you to learn. You might find yourself in an old pattern where you're not ready to break free from it just yet. It might be a little uncomfortable, like you know you need to make the change, but you're not feeling comfortable actually pulling the trigger, like really doing that execution of it. But delays are indicated here, and you can feel trapped and unable to move forward without really understanding why. You might kind of know, but you don't really know. The best thing to do here is just accept the past, whatever happened, whatever didn't work out in that relationship, that family situation, that job, whatever. Be really fair to yourself. Have compassion for the person that you are in that situation. Know that you don't have to live with the results moving into the future of whatever happened then, because you can decide to not allow that situation to impact you in the future. You can't change the past, but you can make a decision about the future, and I am feeling that here. Now, the energy external to you right now is the Knight of Wands in reverse. So this is somebody who is very impulsive. You might be dealing with somebody who's really chaotic. If this is someone in relationship, this could have to do with sexual excess. Somebody who's just sort of like all over the place. But it doesn't always mean sexual excess. Obviously, it's going to depend on how it's resonating with you. But I'm feeling like somebody who's just very sort of chaotic and impulsive, sort of all, like not a grounded person, really is what I'm getting. So here, what is your block? The block is the Six of Swords. You kind of want to leave a situation, but it's a challenge for you. It's like moving on so that you can detach from whatever's toxic here, or at least take a break from the situation. Whatever it is, whoever this messy energy is, this could be a brother, a sister, an aunt, a parent, somebody in the family, somebody in work, so your partner, a friend. But yeah, why you having a hard time pulling away from them? It might be because they're going through something, because you're feeling very strong energy. Listen, Venus and Virgo is going to give you very much this feeling like you have to be of service to somebody. But there's going to be this immense balancing act between what you need, and I feel like either what your marriage partner needs, or what that person who you have a soul contract with, or a real contract like in business. There's going to be this balancing out, right? Because there's this discrepancy between what it is that you want, need, and desire, and what somebody else wants. And you know that you want to be of service to them, you want to be grateful. But if somebody is asking something of you that's just a step a bit too far, or a bit more than you're comfortable with, you might be in the space of trying to figure out if it's something that you'd be willing to do. But we have the wheel, and the wheel for a lot of you is about the past coming back. Not all of you, but some of you. The numerology linked to this is the Magician and the Sun. The Magician is all about manifesting, particularly through deepening of communication. And then the Sun is about having all the tools in your toolbox to make something happen. So it's like there's this very definitive like turning point that's happened, right? And this turning point is very, very fated. It was meant to happen. It's meant to induce change. So there's a lot of like psychic energy around this. But this is you turning to something or someone from the past that magically reappears. There's like a lot of destiny at work here. Now, this is the thing. Because you have Chiron retrograde in Aries in the 8th house of the past, of endings and beginnings, of obsessions and all of that stuff, don't be surprised if the wheel shows up in your energy more mentally, where all of a sudden you're flooded with memories, you're flooded with all of these rememberings from something that happened in the past, where you're in this space where everything's coming back to you kind of out of nowhere. You're like, why is this happening to me? Why am I being made to sort of like, you feel like you're flooded with things that you need to process. But those things need to be healed, right? They need to be looked at and healed, and they need to be reconciled. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go back to somebody from the past, but you at least have to energetically revisit that to reconcile whatever needs to be healed left from that time. Some of you are going to be actually reconnecting with somebody from the past. Some of you just might be reconnecting with old friends, people you haven't seen in a long time. Now, if this has to do with money or career, really good news coming in. Just make sure that you prioritize whatever is being asked of you, and you want to exercise integrity while you're doing it. Just understand, this is a Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is always in a very tight dance with karma. So integrity and truth, honesty, very, very important exercise here. So we have the final outcome energies, the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is a new job for some of you, a new home for others, hope returning. Recovery if you haven't been feeling well physically. Recovery if you've been feeling very lonely. I mean, there's nothing to hate about the 5 of Pentacles reverse. We love that energy. We have the 4 of Cups reverse. This is a new outlook, a new option, some sort of new direction. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Careful that you're not throwing yourself too heavy into work. But this could indicate a financial setback in some way. But I'm not worried about it. We have the Queen of Pentacles clarifying that. This is you taking care of your body, taking care of your finances, taking care of your soul, your spirit. I really like this energy for you as representing you. As a general influence, this indicates marriage, money coming to those of you who are coupled, really good financial management, a healthy sex life, fertility, excellent energy, especially for those of you trying to get pregnant. Wow. Watch out. If you don't want to get pregnant, I'm saying that to everyone, but Virgo, obviously. I mean, we got Venus, which is all about expansion. It's the Empress energy. It's Mother. Virgo's got all about health. This is your first house, right? This has to do with the new beginnings for you. It's your body. Put it all together, you know? So I just feel like, you know, anyone with like first house, 4th, 5th house energies are really going to be... just be careful if you don't want to have a baby. Let's just say that. Okay. Then we have beautiful Temperance energy, which is about balancing and negotiating. Page of Pentacles. Again, some of you are going to be either starting something new within a career that you're doing, getting a new job, or meeting somebody new. But whatever it is, it's inciting a new cycle. And I like that it's got this nice earthy vibe to it. Because whatever it is, you're going to happily be working hard in whatever it is, and it's going to go really well for you. So we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse, which is about having faith, isolation ending. You might still be kind of defensive of something. You want to make sure you don't read too deeply into things. But it's like the energy is going to be lightening up. And then we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. It's just some sort of delay. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Some sort of delay in something that you're working towards. It's going to happen. There just might be a little delay, a little setback, just because of maybe a lack of planning. Not even necessarily on your part. 7 of Swords. Okay, this has to do with dishonesty. Running away from something. A person might be overstepping their boundaries. Somebody might be showing up as kind of selfish. So you're going to need your instincts and your wits about you to figure out the real deal of a situation. Then we have the Page of Cups in the reverse, which is about immaturity, breakup, and dependence on something. This is very interesting to me because here it's like things are going really, really well. You're defensive. There's some sort of delay. Then you're dealing with dishonesty. And then you're dealing with some sort of dependency, or if it doesn't have to do with a breakup, it's leaving a job. But somebody's being very, very immature. You being totally focused on your Queen of Swords truth, right? You're just very focused on figuring out the psychological motivation of somebody. And you're figuring out a different strategy. Such a Virgo energy, even though it's Jupiter and Leo. Because this is you get really pulling back for perspective and you figuring out, what's a better way of getting this done? This work situation, this family situation, this relationship situation, right? So that you can move forward in a way that you know is going to bring you, I guess, benefit, more success in what it is that you want to do. Because it does look like you want to expand something. So if you're dealing with a negative energy, somebody who's immature, not showing up, getting in your way, at the end of the day, right, when it comes to that point where there might be a lot of lip service at this point, and then when it comes to like really showing up in that relationship, in that job, in that situation, whatever it is, something just seems to like fall through. This could have to do with buying or selling a house. This could have to do with something in work, a relationship, whatever. But you being very focused on, all right, what is the what's going on here? And you just figuring out a different strategy for moving forward. So it's only 1 week. It's only the 16th to the 23rd. But that's what I have for this week for you. All right. Let's see what's going on in relationship. So I'm not separating it out to singles, complicated, and couples like I normally do, just because of I just don't have the, I'm so sorry, but I don't have the time this particular week. Like I said, I always give you whatever I can from each week. But let's just see what kind of messages we can get from the 7-card ellipse. For our Virgo friends. Sun, rising in Venus. Okay, 9 of Cups. 3 coins in reverse. 8 of Wands in reverse. The Hierophant. Tower. Alright. Either somebody ended something, or you know you need to end something. At least the way it is right now. Sorry, I just tugged on my camera. I mean, here we have in the past 9 of Cups, which is about feeling very connected to your heart, right? Feeling like you were growing in something. Happiness, wishes manifesting. Current situation, we have the 3 of Coins in reverse. This is feeling a lack of support. Not a lack of support. Not feeling like you're... Besides not feeling support, it's like not feeling well partnered in something. So some of you may be lonely right now, right? Where you were happy at one point, or some of you may be really happy coming into this energy single. You might, but now you're like, I'm feeling kind of lonely. I think it's time I meet somebody, right? Because there's this definitive lack of support. We have the 3 of Wands in the near future, which is about delay. It doesn't mean it's not coming. It's just there's some sort of setback. There's some sort of delay happening here. So let's see what the deal is with that. So what is the advice that you need to look at? Hierophant energy is about expectations and conformity. It's a marriage energy. It has to do with, so besides marriage and committed partnerships, it's understanding how to celebrate the sacred in a relationship. So it has to do with connection, tradition, expectation, emotional development as well. So some of you may be in the space where you're recognizing that maybe you haven't been as ready as you thought you were for a relationship. If you've been single, maybe some of you are recognizing that you want more out of your partnership because you're not feeling supported and connected. And you really want to grow it, but it's like this delay. What's the deal with the delay? Maybe you guys live apart from each other. Maybe somebody is not free from a past connection yet. Something like that. But there's got to be a focus on expectations and conformity here. And you're not the bad guy if you're expecting this, right? This needs to happen here. But the energy, the external energy is the energy of others, is the Tower, which is this necessary surrender. So this could show up as a secret coming to light, something that may seem shocking, even if you kind of vibed it already, but it's this ending, right? abrupt change to the situation. But remember now, the Tower is Mars, right? And Mars is all about making sure we're on the right path. As if we're not, he will give us red flags, and if we ignore them, that's when the Tower comes in. Tower doesn't come in before that. And a lot of you are doing so much, I mean, with Mars in Leo in that 12th house, you're doing so much changing. So much behind the scenes changing that your friends and family might not even realize. So this Tower moment, this can be happening internally to you. Meaning, it's the energy surrounding you where you know you need to change how you show up in relationship. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but you might actually be going after the wrong people, or maybe, you know, whatever it is. What's always the common denominator in all of our relationships, right? All of the ones that don't work. What's the common denominator in all of them, right? Ourselves. So we could say, no, man, I did everything, you know, the best to my ability, right? I communicated, I was generous, I talked about the future, I didn't over-talk it, I didn't linger with the past, whatever, or, you know, I did the best I knew how. Or maybe you were just with the wrong energies. Maybe you were showing up a little too critically. Who knows? But however it resonates with you, though. But there's got to be this release. This old way of relating has to be released. Yeah. And your challenge here is the moon reverse. And so this is you avoiding some sort of difficult emotion, some sort of confrontation, not really wanting to look at something, right? But then ultimately at the end of the day, then your needs aren't expressed or recognized. And some sort of trauma, some sort of pain, some sort of unhealed, something is ignored instead of being figured out, so that you can easily end up falling back into an old way of dealing with the past, right? That ends up making you feel stuck in that old emotional patterning that keeps popping up to stare you square in the face and just saying, until you address me properly and give me attention, I'm going to keep swinging back around. All right? And then we have the Eight of Coins in the reverse as the final energy here, which is about expecting something to be a little perfect. And that sounds silly, a little perfect. Okay. Just not focusing on the right things. You might be very focused on something needing to be perfect. I mean, that just is coming up. Like this is like a very critical energy, the Eight of Coins. So if it's not you, Virgo, it's somebody who feels like that is how you're showing up. We have the Death energy. Obviously, this is an ending. The Death is an ending, so you can have a new beginning. Now, you can have a new beginning with a relationship if it was meant to be, but there needs to be some breathing room right now if it's going to grow legs in the future. For some of you, it's just the ending of something so that you can transform in another space. For others of you in relationship, if it doesn't have anything to do with any of that, this could actually be you moving. Or, I mean, it just can be. This could be you moving to, maybe you're getting an offer to move to better your life. It could certainly be that. But it could be a moving energy as well. Someplace better to suit your needs, right? Your living circumstances change because you realize where you're living doesn't fit you anymore. And then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. The Eight of Cups in reverse is fully learning from the past. Fully learning from the past. I'm going to do it. King of Cups is the need to settle a conflict either within yourself or with another person. Ten of Swords, end of a painful time period. Right? There's a history here, and the finality and the release of something releases you from the frustration of that stress, even if it hurts, even if it's difficult. Really, it's this understanding that the end of a challenging era has finally happened. So now you can transform into a healthier space. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse is like somebody who's really moody, really, unrealistic in their expectations. And then we have the Judgment reverse. So you might feel very stuck here again in the past, you know, having a hard time seeing these lessons that are there right for you to look at. And you're feeling this delay and this inability to sort of deal with whatever happened. The toothpaste is out of the tube, guys. Whatever happened in the past happened. You did the best you knew how with the tools in your toolbox. So did they. So it's kind of time to say, like, all right, let's put the white flags up, surrender. Doesn't mean that we're going to get back together. It doesn't mean that things are going to work. It doesn't mean nothing. It just means we did the best we knew how in the moment. Even if I screwed up, even if you screwed up, whatever it is. And it's just recognition. Forgiveness doesn't always mean getting back together. Forgiveness doesn't always, but it can. So it depends on what your personal situation is. I don't know what else is aspecting your chart. But I do see some really awesome communication coming in. Woo! Hello. Hello. I love these two together. Magician and the Star. Come on now. Love it. Magician is straight up Mercury. Mercury is your ruler and Gemini's ruler. And you put those two together. You put Gemini with you and Gemini together. You know what? That's a nice healing conversation. You guys figuring stuff out. Through a really great understanding of each other. There's empathy being exercised here, which is really nice. I do like that. Deeper understanding of each other's needs. And then we have the Star. So look, I mean, honestly, if you're not with an energy, if you're not with somebody right now in relationship, it's time for you to find somebody that you feel that soul connection with. And you're like, yeah, thanks, Jack. Okay, let me go order them up. But I mean, seriously, like energetically, allowing yourself to be open to really receive it and not to allow your fears and your trepidations to create these energetic blocks in you being able to really draw somebody to you. Okay, that's for those of you who might be in that space. But if this is having to do with the relationship that you're in, this is very hopeful. There's a change for the better after what's been a very difficult time. And I feel like it's happening because of this Magician energy, right? It was beautiful energy. Because look, I mean, in numerology, this is the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, right? So this is about, all right, let's sit down and talk about everything that's gone on in the past. Use the tools that we have in a toolbox now. Like, let's put a big boy and a big girl pants on and have this conversation and be able to fix it. Because we really need to heal. Because in numerology, this is the Strength card. And what is the Strength card? The need to balance out whatever imbalance has gone on if you guys have been in a space where you've been feeling tested in relationship. So that's what I have for you for this week for relationship. I hope this was helpful in some way. If not, maybe get you next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a very blessed week, Virgo. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.